Okay, it's setting it up and we'll be on live soon. Okay, welcome this evening's service to everyone. This is Mary Huber, I'm Reverend Mary Huber. I'm the pastor of the Community Chapel of Holistic Healing. And I appreciate that you're here, and I'm glad to find you all well and happy. The CCWH stands for the Community Chapel of Holistic Healing, and we are a non-denominational, nonprofit spiritual fellowship created in 1977 by Reverend Michelle Luson, a mystic and channel for the higher dimensions or the multidimensional consciousness which we carry here in this organization. She had an apparition of Swami Sivananda, who asked her to start this organization and place it in the Washington, D.C. area to be a light for the nation's capital. We are here to aid in personal and global spiritual transformation. We do have chapel services twice a month, and we have classes periodically, but we also maintain a prayer list, and you're invited to send in requests for people who might need your help that way. And we do send distance healing as well. That's the healing activity we have now while we're under COVID restrictions. So at this time, if everyone will mute their microphone. And we always begin with the reading of the affirmations of faith, hope, and charity. These were channeled from Spirit for the purpose of creating balance and harmony within all of our systems. I'll invite you to say them along out loud if you can, or if you want to balance your systems. Faith affirmation. I believe in the spiritual existence of myself as a perfect image of the divine creator. In this reflection that is my physical embodiment, I have faith in the supreme guidance of my soul for my balance, my needs, and my opportunities. Outside of myself, there are also perfect images, and nothing can delude my thinking otherwise. Hope affirmation. Acknowledging my faith in the omnipresence of my divinity, I hope for realization, awareness, and acknowledgement of the existence of the great I am within myself. Charity affirmation. In understanding faith, in knowing hope, I pledge my actions, my desires, and my thoughts to the performances of myself on the physical planes of the earth, to honor, to love, and to enlighten all that is a reflection of the divine outside myself, so that my perfection is imaged back to my Creator. So help me God. Now this evening, rather than going right to our usual, I have a flip chart. I just want to share a little bit. It might make a little bit of a difference because we didn't get that into the slides fast enough. When we're talking about honoring our roots, and people are going into ancestries.com and other places like that, Family Tree, and looking for their beginning roots for their ancestors that are traced back from the physical end of things. Now, that means a number of things. The roots actually that we're talking about tonight will be two. I'm using the analogy of a tree to represent us as human beings, because when we're planted in the physical, the growth above it is what we are accomplishing in this lifetime. That's all the leaves and the branches and everything that we are doing and putting our beautiful tree together for this lifetime. But where we come from, where our roots are, is both a spiritual root and a physical root. Now we're separating them for the purpose of talking about them, but they actually are combined in reality. So you wouldn't do that if you were really understanding that these really do combine. But when we're talking about the the spiritual route and the roots that are going into the physical, these are the roots that we're honoring. And so as we are going through where we are, what we come from, and what sustains us is usually thought about up there, but the invisible, these are very often not really seen or visible to people. So for the most part, they are invisible to us. Now, it has been said many times that imagination is the gateway to reality. And tonight I'm going to ask if you would do a little journey with me in imagination. So let's travel back into spirit before we got here into the physical. And in that imagination, find yourself in spirit with a group of souls or other spirits. And you look around and you recognize this is your soul group. Now, just for your information, not all spirits are all out there, swirling around or in a big conglomerate. We actually do have groups of souls who are divisions, who travel around through eternity, basically, together, because they have a common goal or interest and have developed themselves as their own little mini society, so to speak. Now, we all have a soul group to which we belong. Now, within that group in spirit, imagine that you were at a table with a fair number of your comrades up there, but not all of them, because the soul groups can be very big. You're in your own work group. You're all deciding to accept an exciting adventure package from a central organizing group in spirit. Now, that group would be composed of more experienced and advanced souls who have been here and done all of that we are all doing here now. They've accomplished that. They don't have to do this anymore, or they don't choose to do this anymore. They will stay in spirit and be your guide and teachers while you're here in the human form. Now, the group at the table with you varies a little bit from lifetime to lifetime. Each has intention for that group that is both for the group purpose as well as personal purposes. It has been made clear that there is an overall mission for everyone to accomplish in your group. So, after discovering these two purposes, you go off to, say, a table by yourself to design your lifetime. Here it is where you select the body you will be inhabiting, either male or female, your ethnicity, your culture, your family, and even the location on the planet where you will embody. All of this has relevance to your purpose for being. Now, while it seems you are alone at your table, the others are able to understand what you are selecting, and you understand their selections as well. And the reason is that you all meet and are going to meet in the physical plane, either as close family or friends or acquaintances, even down the road in lifetime, but significant relationships, because you will recognize each other internally. Those who will remain behind in spirit to help you are also helping you all in your group to make these selections and are knowledgeable about your projections for this lifetime. Now, while it may seem to be too fantastical for us to imagine, we do get a readout of some sort of what to expect for the entire lifetime. All of this is known before we come into the physical. It is also important know that we are operating at a much different level in spirit. And while we are doing this, it's not the lower conscious mind that does this work, to be sure. It's our higher creative mind or our soul that is directing this. But the God force in us creates our experiences and our lifetimes with the greatest of love. We are always set up for success from spirit. It is our human choice to discover the reason for our life and find the ways and means to overcome obstacles that could be found along the way. Now, we are set up with equal number of strengths and weaknesses. Our weaknesses are the challenges we have built in to learn what we have come to learn. There is a corresponding strength given to us for each weakness. We just have to find it, to discover it. I suppose we might say that life is possibly about two major things: training and reparation. But it's always about the experience. We are graded only by our own soul on how we chose to go through the experience. The reason we cannot remember all of the above is to give us a new start for each lifetime. The experience of finding God within and choosing to behave in a manner that fits the exalted soul that you are. And not many people realize that, the fact of their soul and the beauty and the elevation of it. This is why I'm talking about honoring roots. Our spiritual root, where we come from, has such vast dimension, has such vast beauty, has such vast potential, it's unbelievably and probably indescribable, unless you have a sense of the inner world, some of that comes to you, that you can perceive this within you. And I believe that honoring of self then would be much easier for most people. Because you hear people complaining about their circumstances in their life and blaming others or situations or governments or wherever for what's happening to them. But these are the people who have forgotten the reason they are alive. Each person is totally responsible for their own expressions, decisions, and conduct. I like to recall a song made popular by Frank Sinatra called "That's Life." The person who authored those lyrics was very tuned into the varieties of experiences the human might have. As Frank sings, I've been a puppet, a pauper, a poet, a pirate, a pawn, and a king. Truly, if people could remember their spiritual roots, their journeys here, they would find that indeed they have been in many varied positions in life. But if we do it right, just like the song says, when I find myself flat on my face, I pick myself up and get back in the race, because that's life. So why wouldn't we honor our life? Knowing all we have discussed to be true of the above imagination, the attitude of gratitude would be appropriate in just about every situation. Gratitude to God for our life, the life itself that flows in us is the God force. Gratitude to our family for hosting us here and allowing us to experience this life. It's an amazing journey. And the life is not meant to be harsh, at least as harsh as we make it. If we can view life as a beautiful adventure and see the blessings of God all around us, we would have a very different life. Even if circumstances remained that are not so good, the view of them would be different, and therefore the experience would be different. Under that circumstance, you would elicit different responses from people around you, which in turn would have different outcomes. It's an amazing flow that goes through us that affects other people, and other people, of course, affect us. And that's part of the journey. The beautiful journey is the camaraderie, the sharing of experiences, and the helping one another that we are capable of doing and that most people engage in. And, we all know a few people in our lives who manage to keep a cheerful and upbeat attitude all of the time. These are the people who live as a life as a beautiful and blessed journey. That's what they perceive it to be. They do rise above their circumstances, and they do give their life to God and trust in the God presence within them to guide them and direct them. But I know that if people haven't been raised in that kind of an environment that teaches that, it's kind of a hard right turn to make. However, every human is capable of change, of making better choices. After all, on this planet, choice is everything. Freedom of choice is our God-given right from our inception, part of the understanding we have from God for our journey here. And for those who are listening to this and have made those changes, I'm just here to remind you, to encourage you to continue your attention to praising God and to have that uplifted spirit in you every day as a beacon for those who are floundering and depressed. The youth today, I believe, in particular, need this. Now, they're not the only ones I know, but it's kind of tragic to see young people already becoming discouraged and they haven't made it out of their teens yet. I believe that as we are senior to those people, that teaching values, finding meaning in life, teaching setting high goals, teaching how to make better decisions, and also to take responsibility, and how to find good in the world, how to celebrate their own particular strengths, and just so much more. There's so much to leave behind us, because the journey that we are making as a spiritual family together, especially at CCWH, has been an amazing journey, and something that I think in spirit must be quite remarkable, because we have stayed together and that we are promoting the good in the world. Now that we have joined or have elevated into the fifth dimensional frequency of the planet, and we are there, we have so much to share, so much for our just being here, and everything that we do, everything that we say, everything that we can be is emanating into the world, and it does change the behavior of other people, whether we know it or not. It does help those who are struggling to understand and to get a grasp of their own God spirit within them. We never know when we touch someone else, even at that subconscious level, that it makes a huge difference in their life. All of these things we have to share, and all of these things we do share. And there is a affirmation that you might want to give as a gift to share with somebody who might need this to get a grasp of life. And this is the affirmation for clarity of purpose. And it goes this way: I know myself to be a composite of soul, of mind, of body, and that this composite is complex in nature. Since I confess to not comprehending my total complexity, I need only seek within myself for the answers to the needs of this moment, knowing that the creative spirit of my soul can supply all clarity needed at any point in time. Using my physical efforts to seek first my higher guidance, I promise to apply my energy to creatively solving my problems using the guidance of my soul. I acknowledge that all confusion, all misunderstanding of myself can no longer exist within my life, for true realization has clarity of purpose. And so it is. I believe that our affirmations include that. If it is not included in our affirmations on our website, I would be happy to send you a copy of that. If you will write to info@ccwh.com. I think that would be very helpful for many people you come upon in life who need your help. We blessed this planet. We bless our life. We bless the roots from which we come, the spiritual roots which we acknowledge. Our physical roots are the result of our selection in spirit, and they are good, and they are valued, and they are perfect for this lifetime. There is no mistake having been made, because all has been taken into account in spirit for our life to be a successful journey. And so as we now look up and as we look out and enjoy the beauty that God has presented to us in this world, to know that life is good and life is beautiful, and it all depends on our point of view. We can change the world, but we do need to change those things within ourselves that create any barriers to that awareness. Thank you very much. And now we'll go into our meditation for this evening.
Begin by taking deep breaths in and out as we feel our energies relax. As we start pulling ourselves inward to a place of peace and light. We feel in particular our lower bodies as they relax, as they almost meld to the earth. We become very aware of the sensation of sending any negative energy out down away from us to be utilized by the living planet that is our Earth. We take another moment to send any not useful energies out and down, knowing that while they may not be useful to us at this time, there are other beings in the earth that can use them for good. Once this area seems clear, we focus on the feelings of support, of solidity, of groundedness. And we let this feeling really sink into us. Now, fully supported and grounded, we become aware of our upper body, our head, and we feel it lightening. We feel it opening to love, to spirit. There may be a sensation of unfurling. We feel that light of God, of heaven, of the great spirit of the universe, as it joins with us. As it joins with us, it also fills us up with grace, with peace, with light. There is a great pouring in sensation. We allow this grace, this peace, to fill us up. Now grounded and connected, we feel a protection forming around us. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. Wherever we are, God is. We are safe. We are protected. Moving from this place of grounding, of connection, of protection, we go to our healing place of meditation. We can picture any area where we are comfortable, where we feel especially open to healing. We take a moment here to get comfortable and situated. And we again feel our upper bodies, particularly our heads and upper chakras, as they open to the light, to spirit. We may become aware of a ring of light around our heads, almost like a halo, We may feel more of a crown atop our heads, or we may simply see the top of our skulls almost open up like a hat. But we are aware that this upper portion of our head is open. It is allowing the light of spirit to enter. It is welcoming in the messages of guidance, of intuition, of grace and love that come to us regularly, all the time from spirit. We feel how easy it is for us to fully open to these messages. We let them shine down on us. If we desire it, we know we can also ask Spirit for interpretations of whatever guidance, whatever messages we receive. All we need do is set our intentions and ask. If you desire it, you can do so now. Now, with our upper chakras accessed, we feel energy moving down our body into our chest cavities, and especially into the energy centers of our chest and heart. We may feel a spinning, perhaps a glowing sensation as these energy centers are activated by the light. We feel our hearts aglow, open, ready to receive love, ready to receive grace, ready to receive an expansiveness. An opening akin to the love of God. As this energy moves through us, again, it may feel like fire or light, like glowing or burning. It is not painful, but it may be intense. And we sit for a moment with this feeling, knowing the light is filling up our hearts. With our hearts full, we are able at this time to turn any excess energy or any energy we feel driven to send out to a person, a place, a situation that requires more heart energy, more love, more expansiveness. We turn this energy outward and send it where it will do the most good. Once we feel the energy has been effectively sent, we are aware of the light moving farther down our bodies, through our torsos, down our arms, and into our hands, where the energy centers of our hands, our palms, our fingers are activated and enlivened. We open ourselves up to this healing light, this healing energy, becoming aware of the many things we do with our hands, all the energy that entails. We welcome more light from Spirit to energize our hands and their energy centers. We may begin feeling a tingling or a rushing sensation in our hands. We continue to allow the energy to flow. Opening up to this energy and its activating properties. As the energy continues to pour in, we may find ourselves forming a bit of a cup with our hands to really gather this energy. And once it feels full, we turn our hands outward, directing this powerful, helpful, loving energy to whatever person, whatever place, whatever situation we feel requires it most from us at this time. We continue a little longer, holding our hands out, sending this energy, this power, this love out. And once this sending feels fully complete, we become cognizant of the energy of Spirit moving through us again. This time it moves down into our lower bodies, down our legs, and it pools in our feet. We allow this high spiritual energy to continue its course, running down our lower bodies, energizing our legs and feet. We feel it filling us up, energizing us, strengthening us. We open ourselves to this healing energy that is coming from the light, that is coming from the ground. We welcome its energy and we become open as it gives us some direction, perhaps, on where to walk next in our lives, on how best to walk the beauty path. as we continue to see and feel this energy as it moves through us, most strongly now in our legs and feet. We may have some sort of image, perhaps almost like a map, perhaps from a bird's eye view. Perhaps we simply envision ourselves walking down a certain path, a certain road, going a certain way that Spirit is directing us at this time, going a way that will lead us on the best paths for our soul to go. So we are truly walking the beauty way. We take another moment to receive any messages. We may envision ourselves going a particular direction we desire to go. Once this visualization is complete, we find ourselves taking deep breaths, drawing our energies in, back inwards to ourselves. Taking deep breaths, we give thanks to the earth, to the heavens, to ourselves. And giving thanks, we feel as we slowly return fully and completely to our own bodies, to our own homes. We find ourselves now back in place. Welcome back, and thank you.
Well, I hope you have found our website at CCWH.com. And when you go there, you will find a drop-down menu labeled Get Involved, where there is a place to make a contribution, for which we would be so grateful. And while you're there, perhaps you would be interested in becoming a member. Our affirmations are found there, as well as a place to request prayers for someone in need.
For 44 years, CCWH has been an amazing place for spiritual learning, growth, and value. We will continue to provide value that will enrich your spiritual journey. Donations big and small makes what we do possible. Please help us help you and others by making a donation today. Click here to visit CCWH.com. Thank you.